Welcome back to DXB Today, where we are now joined by our first guest. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Tadeu Baldani Cavalieri, and thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Did I get it right?
Almost that.
Cavalieri. Cavalieri. Thank you so much, Tad, for being on the show. Now, you are the director of Prototypes for Humanity. Tell me, what kind of thing is that for people who don't know?
So we are the largest and most diverse assembly of good ideas to make a better future happen. And what we do is we look at academia for solutions. So every year we scan the world, the planet, over 100 countries, 800 academic institutions, looking for what we consider to be good solutions for planet and society issues.
So there's going to be over 100 chosen projects from across 46 countries, 92 universities. What is the sort of age limit for some of the, I guess, inventors, scientists who can participate in this?
It is whoever fits the profile of higher education. So we do have primarily PhDs, but we also have people doing postdocs and undergrad, but our focus is really PhD level academic research.
So it seems to me like something like this requires a collaborative effort. You can't do it alone as an organization. You probably need really strategic partnerships to do it. So what is your view on that? What do you do about partnerships?
I think this is why Dubai is so important for our model, and I think the program can only exist in a place like Dubai when you're trying to bring in people from 92 different countries, hundreds of universities together. You do need a place that people can work together and collaborate, but also there is a very important role fulfilled by our partners. So we do Prototypes for Humanity in partnership with Dubai Future Foundation, with Dubai Culture, and the IFC, as they are enablers and stakeholders of the city and the innovation ecosystem within the city. For us, it's extremely important to work with them. But also, for those technologies to go to market, going back to the things that were discussed before, it is critical that they are piloted, tested, and they have the business infrastructure behind them. Otherwise, water purification, carbon capturing, cancer research can't really go to market. So partnerships are essential to enable that to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant. So what direction are you going in specifically when it comes to health, food, security, AI?
Yes. So I'll start with AI because I think what we see is AI being used across all disciplines as an enabling tool. Although there are people doing hardcore research on AI, going back to what was discussed before, AI has become a present discipline across agriculture studies and education, financial inclusion, etc., etc. But our big umbrella is sustainability and social development. So whatever fits under that is part of the program automatically. Traditionally, we see a lot of health innovation, we see food security innovation, pollution, etc., etc.
Now, there has been talk, and of course, Tanya, we were talking to you about ethics when it comes to AI, humanity when it comes to AI. Do we make AI so that it fits in with our humanity, or can sometimes we alter our humanity to fit in with AI? For example, a software that can come along and do all our jobs should not be a scary thing. Maybe we need to rethink the way our society works, that we're scared of something that's coming to help us, essentially. What do you think, Tanya?
Absolutely. Look, here's what I think, right? With AI, it's here to stay, just like any other technology. So we're much better adapting to it. That said, any technology is a double-edged sword. So the fire that kept our houses warm could also burn us down, right? So how we leverage it, it is up to us. And I say, adapt along with it. We don't really have a choice in that sense.
What do you think, Tad?
I think in our case, what we see is there is at least within academia, an attempt to remove the biases from AI. So I think one good example is databases. Depending on the database that you build or code on, you have bias within that. So for example, traditionally people talk about using AI for HR, for example, and you may recruit someone or not based on the quality of your database. What we see within academia is an attempt to make AI as unbiased as possible.
So I believe you're going to be at COP28?
Yes, so there is obviously a very strong connection between what we do and COP. We are hosting our closing ceremony at COP on December 2nd, awarding 5 of the best ideas that will be present at the exhibition. The exhibition itself takes place at Emirates Towers between November 28th and 30th, starting tomorrow. Public is of course welcome to come and see what we do on the Wednesday and Thursday, November 29 and 30.
Let's talk about what you're awarding. $100,000 US.
Yes.
And who will that go to?
Well, if you come on the second,
Will I win it?
possibly. So what we did this year, and every year we have the awards. So the $100,000, they go to 5 different projects. And what we did was to mimic or to mirror the COP priority areas into the awards. So they will cover what are considered to be the key avenues for COP this year: health, nature, education, and AI.
This is fascinating. Stick around, Tad. Okay, so right, today's spotlight is on a next generational digital wallet, providing fast and customized payment services for financial solutions. Anytime, anywhere, this is ePay.
My name is Karan Bhandari. I'm the CEO and founder of ePayMe, which is again a fintech brand that has been established since 2018. About myself, I started my career into tax and fintech. I've been with Ernst & Young before, World Tax Services, private governments as well of UAE, and then was with a group of Al-Fateh. Then eventually started our own startup, which is again now a large fintech brand, which is ePayMe. ePayMe started from Dubai, but now in the last 9 months, we've expanded to 8 countries across the world, with covering almost like 80% of the regulatory authorities. We're trying to solve the problems for the regulated businesses who have all the source of licensing, but have to go through a very tough process to even get their credit card, debit card processing, or whether to on-ramp, off-ramp their cryptos, or to even issue their own debit cards of their own brand. They have to go through multiple channels to find a proper source, whether in their home country or say over the world. So that's where ePayMe comes into. We still have a very solid compliance team that looks into the regulatory aspects on a day-to-day basis. So I think that's where the biggest challenge is in the payment industry, that you have to cater the anti-money laundering laws, the KYC laws, and then I think your internal compliance team is the best that can do. So I think compliance is the biggest challenge, and I'm happy that we've been able to cover this thoroughly. Long-term vision is to, of course, become a full-fledged fintech solution, which we already are, but on a very large scale, whether it is a crypto industry, whether it is a forex industry, whether it is any other industry that is looking or seeking payment assistance, or say even banking assistance, or say issuance of cards, debit cards of their own brand to build their brand image, ePayMe should be the only name that they should remember. Dubai has been a home here for me. I've spent the last 7 years. I know how close it is to my home, and that's what makes it special. Plus, it's a hub for fintech and crypto. That's where my interest lies. I've been in the crypto field since like 2012, and fintech since like last 8 years. So it as well combines everything into one, and that's what I like about Dubai. It has the best opportunities for us in this field.
Exactly what I needed, even more ways to spend money. But thank you so much to the guys at ePay. And Ash, I do believe it's time for the roundup.
That's correct. Fasten your seatbelts, guys, because electric air taxis will begin test flights in Dubai next year. With a cruising speed of 180 kilometers per hour and a top speed of about 216 kilometers per hour, the fully electric vehicle is significantly quieter than conventional helicopters. The technology, known as Fly-Free, provides greater efficiency, stability, and reliability. Operations are expected to begin by 2026 with the first Vantipodes, Dubai International Airport, downtown Dubai, Palm Jumeirah, and Dubai Marina. Guys, I cannot begin to tell you how excited I am about this.
I'm a little bit scared.
Because come 7 a.m., okay, I've got my sweats, I've got my little scrunchie, my huge coffee thermal cup, huge sunglasses because I've got no makeup on. I am ready for the school drop-off, and I am ready to take on Hester Street. So with this new technology, if I can go from my house to the school and back home in 7 minutes while my coffee is still hot, sign me up.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Some of the speeds you were saying, 180 kilometers per hour, that's almost as fast as they go on the E311.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of the big things that I was told by some helicopter pilots was the noise is going to be a magnificent sound, because you need a lot of energy to power something, and the weight. So I don't know how they're going to achieve that. What do you think?
Well, I think there are technologies from what we see inside academia that can help with buffering the sound. But I think what is fascinating about flying taxis is that the fact that that can exist in our lifetime. We were talking before about the Jetsons, and I can totally understand that reference. I think pushing the limits of what we can do and what we can experience as humans is fundamental. But I'm not sure how you drop your kids off once you're hovering over the school.
Just
You may
drop
have
them
to
off
go down.
Oh yeah, there's
Parachutes.
There's that, yeah.
But
Or just like a long staircase. I'm sure they'll come up with something.
But I know that a lot of these taxis, a lot of these devices, driverless cars and stuff, and these taxis are supposed to be driverless as well. Is there an element of AI when it comes to that, and can we trust it?
Absolutely. Well, the question of can we trust it, there's a bit of a question mark around there, and that's why we need enormous amounts of research going into this. But I like to remind people that humans are liable to tons of cognitive biases, just like systems are. But anyway, all autonomous vehicles, driverless cars, are made up of multiple artificial narrow intelligence systems like computer vision, decision making, analytics, etc. So absolutely, AI is everywhere, and it's definitely going to be in these.
And we can trust it, yeah, because that's the thing, because people make probably more mistakes than machines.
If considering that this is launching in the UAE, I would say we can trust it, because if there's one thing that the government of Dubai does really, really well, it's invest in figuring AI out.
Yeah, and investment's a big thing. The whole global airline industry, when it comes to this sort of aircraft, is like 17.8 billion
Exactly.
by 2028.
There you go.
I'm curious to know if this is something that's going to be accessible and affordable to, the regular public, or if this is going to be a rich people's problem. What do you think, Tanya?
It's going to be accessible. I mean, this is the great thing about living here as well, right? We have access to more things as a general population that a lot of people don't in other parts of the world. So again, accessibility, to your point earlier, partnerships, accessibility for the general population, a lot is possible within this city.
That is the thing, because I know the electric car was a thing in the 90s, and it
Right.
was sort of made fun of, and then the Tesla came out. It
Yeah.
made the electric car luxury, sexy, and I think that inspired the more affordable models that you can find now. So it starts that way, doesn't it, Tad?
It does, and also I think what it allows is for that technology, whatever is the onboarded tech behind a flying taxi, to be also transferred to other technologies, right? I can, even if people don't see the value in a flying taxi, what if you could do irrigation primarily using flying cars? Wouldn't that allow food production to be much more scaled than it is? So I think the transferability aspect of every new technology is what is important.
Well, it's been a great discussion, but Tad Baldani Caviari, thank you so much for joining us on DXB today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we're going to have some more conversation with Tanya in just a bit, but what is coming up on the show?
We discuss how cutting-edge technology can help influence the future of sustainable designs and transport.
And Nimi, the very lucky lady, went down to meet football legends Juan Sebastian Veron, Dwight Yorke and David James over at the Legends League Football.
Man, she's a lucky girl. Plus, we've got the talented jazz artist closing out the night, so stay tuned.